Right then, ladies and gents, I've got some good news for all you Monsterverse fans. Basically, it's looking highly likely that Legendary are going to be making more films. Now, this is utterly fantastic, and it also puts to bed a lot of the rumours that Toho wanted to get the rights back, or Toho wanted to make their own Godzilla films, etc. Now, I've actually covered the Toho rights deal extensively here on the channel. For some time, they've out and out stated that they can still make films if they wanted to. Toho, that is. They have no willingness to do that just yet. They're very happy with taking the paycheck from Legendary. And they've also been very outspoken and said that they were more than happy with what Legendary have been doing. Why? Because they also get final say on every single piece of story decision, design decision, everything. Toho is very, very, very controlling with the property. So they're more than happy for Legendary to continue using the license, right? That's something which is now pretty clear cut, because Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard is in talks for Legendary's next Monsterverse film. Now, this is an exclusive on THR, The Hollywood Reporter. You'll find it linked down below, so please do read along with me. Just before we do though, ladies and gents, down below in the description box as well are two things. A link to my second channel. So if you're into cars as well as movies, I'm a petrol head. I love my cars. I'm currently rebuilding a Nissan Pulsar GTIR, or a Nissan Sunny GTIR. Baby Godzilla, as it was known. It's a Group A rally homologation special from the 90s. Check out the link to my second channel down below in the description box. I think you guys will enjoy it. Also, subscribe over there. Secondly, I'm also selling my Blu-ray for Blackfields. There is still availability, there's still interest, so we are continuing to sell that. So if you haven't got it already and you were worried that it's gone, please do go and grab yours now. Support me, support the channel, support original filmmaking, all that good stuff. Would really love it and appreciate it. So anyway, let's dive into this. I love this news. This news dropped pretty late last night. I was already in bed when this dropped, so I wasn't going to get out of bed and make a video. It was a pretty long day for me yesterday. Either that or it's just linked to me quite late in the day. Either or, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to know my bedtime. But this is good news. All right, Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard in talks for Legendary's next Monsterverse film. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want him back? He has done something which is positive for Legendary as a business. Anyway, they're going to be looking at it and going, yeah, results have been good. Like, good money, good feedback, overall pretty damn positive. So they're going to be all over him like a rash, basically. Now, we already know that they've got Voight Roberts back for a Gundam film that they're looking to make, which is an interesting one because they're then selling that to Netflix. But this is all kind of by the by. The main point here is that Adam Wingard is coming back, at the very least now in preliminary talks stages, to direct a Monsterverse film. And this could be something which turns the tide on his legacy away from Death Note, an absolute garbage film that he was much maligned for. So let's dive into this from the report itself. One possible title being floated internally at Legendary: The Son of Kong. Now, that's not what I like, but it also, I don't care about the Son of Kong. Where are you going to go with that story? You're just going to have Kong run around and teach him and maybe fight smaller monsters. We've upped the ante quite a lot in this world, and exploring Son of Kong, there's two positive, well, there's a positive and a negative here. One, you're removing the escalation part of what they've been doing with the world, right? So you go from King Ghidorah to Mechagodzilla, right? So it's been escalated. And they're all pretty world-shattering events. It's kind of like the Marvel universe, where they just keep upping the ante time and time again, and you do have to bring it back to ground at some point. And this is potentially what they're trying to do. So as much as it's positive, it's also negative, because I still feel that there is some ground that they could cover on this. There's a lot that they could do, a lot of monsters they could buy from Toho. But then the second side of it is, ladies and gents, is that because it's looking like it's going to be the Son of Kong, is this now the deal with Toho done retroactively, or are they still in talks to re-up the deal with Toho, because Kong is public domain, right? It's a public domain character. They can use it. They don't have to pay anyone to use the character. So if they're now doing Son of Kong, that does put a damper on the opening statement about, well, Toho are more than happy with it. So it's interesting. Personally, to me, I've got no interest in watching a Son of Kong movie. I mean, I will watch it, and I'm sure that they could do something interesting with it, but I feel like you go from Godzilla vs. Kong to the Son of Kong. I think that that's quite a wasted opportunity to do something pretty damn interesting there moving forwards. There's a lot of monsters that they could buy, license, even create themselves, and I feel like exploring Son of Kong is a bit not great. Now, the article states that it wasn't the most encouraging start. Just as Legendary's Godzilla vs. Kong was beginning post-production in 2019, the company's Godzilla King of the Monsters opened and underperformed. The movie, which cost $170 million to make, grossed only $386 million and earned middling reviews of 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. No one cares about Rotten Tomatoes, THR. Shut the fuck up. Given King of the Monsters less than stellar results, Legendary insiders had viewed Godzilla vs. Kong as perhaps the end of the current version of the franchise, even as executives believed they had saved the best for last. But then Godzilla vs. Kong opened, and it's been great. Like I said, 400 million globally is fantastic. Really, really good. It's still got to open in loads of other countries. Look, it still has yet to open, right? In the UK, Brazil, and the home of Godzilla, Japan. So it should earn a damn sight more than 400 million when it's all said and done. In fact, quite a lot. I would say an awful lot of money. Now they're obviously looking for more than 566 million, which was what Kong Skull Island did in 2017. But this is positive. This is really positive. And there was some commentary by some of the writers, I think, of Godzilla vs. Kong. That basically they came out and said, look, we see this as the end of a chapter, and we can continue the story elsewhere, but this is the closing of a chapter, so that's why it didn't feel right to have an end credits or something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, but they'd already left it open, basically. But you can definitely see how Godzilla vs. Kong could have been the end, a nice, comfortable end. In fact, like it would have worked fine as the end of the franchise, but so positive that they're looking to continue it. Now, instead of winding down the franchise, Godzilla vs. Kong may ramp it up. The Hollywood Reporter has learned that Legendary is quietly taking steps to stretch the series into one or more installments, entering early talks with Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard to return for another round of monster-on-monster mayhem. If the deal closes, Wingard could be the first Helmer to return to the monster fold, since Godzilla kicked off the Legendary partnership with Japan's Toho in 2014 with 524 million in global receipts. Now, the fact that they say, one or two, that's not strictly true, because they've already got a Kong Skull Island Monarch series going into production for Netflix. It's like an anime thing. But that's not strictly true. We already know it's continuing in some shape or form. But a shame that they're only saying one or two, basically, one or more. So it's probably one or two installments. Son of Kong would be a weird one to end on, wouldn't it? But then as well, could be a really nice send-off for Kong. He's got a family at that point. That's where you go, ah. Like a nice round out for Kong. But then, I still don't know how to feel about that, to be fair. But anyway, as of now, there's no timetable for the project, as Wingard has become popular among studios. Warner Brothers, for example, has chased and landed the director for a live-action feature based on the Saturday morning cartoon Thundercats, and a Face-Off sequel at Paramount also beckons. And there is no known writer attached to the new Monsterverse installment either. So it's not looking like there's going to be any movement on that for some time. But then I also feel like if they're trying to plan out more and more of it, well, then maybe that's best. If they're trying to do a lot more rather than just one, have someone on board that can write out a few movies that connect together. Now, Wingard is said to have been very involved in creating Godzilla vs. Kong set pieces, as well as the world building for the movie's Hollow Earth plotline. And he and Legendary have been cooking up plenty of ideas already. And in fact, one possible title being floated internally is The Son of Kong. So anyway, look, what do you think? For me, personally, not interested. Not interested. in a Son of Kong movie. I'll watch it, and I'm sure it will be good. But I just feel it's a bit of a downgrade from Godzilla vs. Kong. And normally, you would look at upping the ante constantly as a bad thing. But there's still a lot of room to grow in this universe. There's still so many places they could go, and they're not looking like they're going to go there, which is a shame. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section, guys. I think this is great. Again, continue the Monsterverse. That's it. It's coming to fruition. I'm more than happy with this. I think this is awesome. So let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much, though, guys. Take care.